Okay, and we are live, amigos. ¿Qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream at 7:35 p.m. It is Wednesday, I think, the 5th of June. And as always, we're going to have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today here in Spain. Some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times too. We'll take a look at some of those. And then in the second half of the live stream this evening, we'll go into the chat section that I have on the screen here and check out what is happening in that chat section, what people are talking about today. Now, straight into the news, and Spain's most prolific author is at it again. Pedro Sanchez, that is. He has penned another letter to the Spanish public because of what's happening with his wife, of course. And as we can read here, Sanchez publishes another letter after his wife's subpoena. What they did not achieve at the ballot box, they pretend to achieve in a fraudulent way, he said in the letter. The Prime Minister has published a new letter to the public after the formal summons to his partner, Begoña Gómez, to testify on July the 5th. In his letter, the President denounces that with the investigation of his partner, they are trying to achieve in a spurious way what they did not achieve at the polls, and rules out any scenario of resignation. I want to tell you that my decision to continue at the head of the government is firmer than ever. I would like to tell you that we are both absolutely calm. There is nothing behind this accusation, only a crude setup driven by the ultra-right-wing plaintiff association, says Pedro Sanchez, who denounces that the objective of the PP and Vox parties is that I resign, even as we learned yesterday, to try to force my exit from the job with a no-confidence vote through an unnatural alliance. Anything goes for them. Yeah, a little bit ironic here, Mr. Sanchez's words, because he came to power through a no-confidence vote back in the day, I should say, with the help of what some people would call an unnatural alliance. So a little bit ironic, I think, there, Mr. Sanchez's words, considering the past politics here in Spain with Mr. Sanchez coming to power in 2017 in exactly the same way, basically. So there he is again, writing another letter. We saw the first letter about a month ago now when he took some time off. He took some days off from his busy schedule to rethink his position as top of the Spanish political chain. And today, or yesterday, another letter defending the innocence of his wife, who, as we know, has been called before the courts. Second piece of news here, and 44% of employment in Spain will experience significant changes due to AI. 44% of employment in Spain will experience significant changes by artificial intelligence, while about 2 million jobs are at risk of disappearing. These are data from the study AI and Labour Market in Spain, prepared by the multinational Randstad, whose results have been exposed this Wednesday in Pamplona by the Director of External Relations of the company, Daniel Lorenzo, in the framework of a conference organised by the Confederación Empresarial Navarra. According to the document, the use of AI in Spain by companies is still moderate, but a great expansion of its adoption is expected in the coming years. And let's be honest, I don't think Spain is the only country that will be affected by AI, as more companies work out that maybe artificial intelligence can do the job of some people who are currently occupying space in the office, and lots of jobs, I imagine. 44% according to that report. 2 million jobs, I think, in total will be affected by AI in some way, shape or form. Not good when you have a country with around 11.6% unemployment. So what's going to happen in the future? The state will have to look after more and more people, no doubt, or they adapt to AI in some way, shape or form. Not sure how, but I'm sure you guys could let me know how it's going to work in the comment section below or the chat section on the live stream this evening. Next piece of news here, and from tenants to squatters, I have to sleep in a storage room because they don't want to leave my house. We accompanied Pilar to her home in A Coruña. We watch as she looks at the house with resignation. She has already lost count of the number of times she has knocked unsuccessfully on the door, so we tried it ourselves. I don't want anything, don't bother me, is the response, and we are unable to ask the tenant why she stopped paying the rent years ago and why she doesn't want to leave the house. Pilar is desperate. She owes me 20,000 euros in rent alone, she admits. She assures that both physically and mentally this issue is consuming her because her tenant has declared herself in a situation of vulnerability and she can do nothing. And we've seen, I think in the last few days at least, 2 or 3 stories along these lines. People that own homes get squatters in them. People that start off paying rent, then they stop paying rent for whatever reason. They become vulnerable. According to them, they are in a vulnerable situation, and the courts rule on their side in a lot of the cases, and very, very difficult to evict these people. And people like Pilar, who would like to be in their home, don't have the opportunity because they made the mistake of renting it to somebody who would turn out to be a squatter. So as I said, the second, maybe third story that we've seen along these lines in recent times, and I think both stories, or 2 of the stories, coming out of Galicia. One in Vigo the other day, and this one in Coruña. And you might remember the Vigo story of the man who went to his home, called the police. The man went to the home, started banging on the door, yelling at the squatter. Squatter called the police, and the owner of the home was told to move on, sir. Nothing we can do here. Next piece of news here, and summer is getting longer in Spain and robs up to 30 days from spring and autumn. Summers in Spain are getting longer and longer beyond the meteorological or astronomical beginning of the season. The feeling that summer is lasting longer and longer is transformed into a trend through data. An analysis carried out by the State Meteorological Agency reveals that on average, current summers are 1 month longer than in the past. They are getting longer at the beginning and sometimes at the end, at the cost of robbing days from spring and autumn. The summer has lengthened over 30% in more than half of the country and even exceeds 50% in the east and northwest peninsula for at least 30 years. This is the main conclusion of the analysis of the average temperatures of the last 84 summers carried out by AEMET meteorologist Benito Fuentes. So there we go. Summer's getting longer in Spain, and if you're living here in Spain, you have no doubt already worked that out, that your spring is getting days that appear more like summer days, and even at the end of the summer, the days are lingering. Hotter temperatures, no doubt, and the data, according to the State Meteorological Agency there, cannot be questioned, according to them. Now let's move into the comments. Let's have a look here. First one on the screen now from Mr. Vet. Isn't everyone in politics guilty of influence peddling? Nothing new. This is just being politicised by authoritarian conservatives, aka the far right. One could randomly pick an elected official or elected official's spouse and find they are involved in influence peddling to some extent. Yes, Mr. Vet, thank you very much for your opinion. Some would argue that this is a plot of the far right, I'm not going to say far right because it also involves the more moderate right, I think, but the complaint was filed by a far right or a group, an organisation with far right connections, I believe, called Manos Limpias, Clean Hands. And they've also done these things over the years. Not the first time they've done this before over the years. So Begoña Gómez in the spotlight at the moment. And of course the ruling party, the PSOE party, thinks that this is some type of interference or some way to influence the elections that are coming up at the weekend on the 9th of June. Sunday, I think, the 9th, these elections, the European elections, so they think that this might give an advantage to the right-wing parties, those being the PP and Vox. So we'll see, but thanks, Mr. Vet, for that. And can everybody in politics be guilty of influence peddling? Don't know. Maybe they can, or maybe they put what they're doing on the table so that people know what they're doing, and therefore they're not doing it behind closed doors without people knowing that they are exerting their influence. Don't know. Gold geologist, Ryanair not bad, but that Vueling airline was my worst experience in over 9 million miles of flying worldwide. Never again, says gold geologist. Yeah, Vueling is the Spanish low-cost company. Originally set up, I think, I'm not sure if it has always been associated to the Iberia group, but I think it was set up around 20 years ago, can't remember, to compete with the Ryanairs or the EasyJets, those other low-cost operators. And gold geologist there saying, never again will I fly with Vueling. I've flown with them a couple of times when they were in Madrid. I think they left Madrid there for a while, not sure. I think they were based in Barcelona in Catalonia, not sure about that either, but I think that's the case. And my experience with Vueling was, neither good nor bad, let's say. I don't have anything really negative to say about them, but a low-cost operator, and that's about it. But gold geologist, not happy. One here from Greet, I think this is. A lot more tourists here in the Highlands of Scotland. Way too many cars and caravans making the locals unhappy. I think it's everywhere as people want to escape this crazy world. But I bet a lot of them will be paying off the debt they took out for a holiday. That is true. Well, if you have to go into debt to take a holiday, maybe you shouldn't be taking a holiday. That would be my advice firstly. But then again, some people would put that as a priority, that they want to spend money that maybe they don't have on a nice holiday. I know that it happens in Australia, for example. Holidays are expensive. If you come to Europe, people might go into debt on their credit card in order to pay for that holiday. But it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for a lot of people, so I can understand that. But if you're getting into debt just to go to the Dominican Republic for a week, maybe rethink it, don't know. And Highlands of Scotland, I think they've always been a popular place, at least when I went there many, many years ago. I went camping in the Highlands of Scotland, and it was a busy campsite. It was indeed. Don't know how many foreign tourists there were. There seemed to be a lot of people from the north of England in that campsite, but because it rained for the whole time that we were there, didn't really get much social activity going on. But I think everywhere is crowded at the moment if it's worth people visiting, let's be honest. Another one here from GAR. What the hell is going on with this idea that you can stay indefinitely in a house or flat property of someone else and you can stay without any sort of redress? No wonder the world's going mad. Yes, a lot of people think like this. But obviously, some people don't think like that because they allow people in vulnerable situations to stay illegally in somebody's private property, and that's what we saw in that article earlier, and also in the articles in previous videos. So it does happen. The world might have gone mad for some, or is going mad for some, but for others, it's completely normal. Just depends through which lens you look at the situation, I suppose. But interesting. And the next one here from Vietnam. The police should be there to enforce the laws for law-abiding citizens, not for social work for squatters. Another opinion here that maybe the squatters should be evicted. And I don't know where they would end up. But if you are in a vulnerable situation, or at least you claim to be, that's why I said people sometimes sympathise with you and rule on your side in these cases. Fortunately, I haven't been in that situation, but I imagine some people are genuinely in a vulnerable situation, but I imagine that some other people are just taking the P155 and don't want to pay rent. That would be another case as well. So, complex. One here from CLT. How about Spanish cheeses to go with wines? I like Stilton, but difficult to find, and I would like Spanish cheese. Well, CLT... Spanish cheese is in abundance in any delicatessen, any supermarket deli, if you like. Just go in there and choose from any number of cheeses. If you go to a specialty cheese shop, you'll find varieties that you might not see in the supermarket. But plenty of cheeses on offer here. Of course, the most famous cheese, the Manchego cheese. Everybody seems to know about that. But there are a lot of other types of cheese. In the north of Spain, they have some fabulous cheeses as well. In the Canary Islands, Balearic Islands, there's some nice cheeses. Here in Madrid, we've got some decent cheeses happening as well. All over the country, Extremadura, you can find nice cheeses. Castilla y León, you can find nice cheeses. All over the country. So just go to the local deli and pick yourself up a Spanish cheese. I don't know whether you can get Stilton here in Spain. Cheddar is in abundance, but Stilton, not sure. Is that a red cheese or is that red Leicester? I don't know. Let me know. Stilton. And the final comment here from Pauls, €2 for a bottle of wine. That's New Zealand dollars $3.50. Impossible. We would pay at least twice that for the cheapest bottle, more like 3 or even 4 times for the cheapest good quality wine. Yes, Pauls, that is because New Zealand, like Australia, slaps a lot of tax on alcohol, especially if you import it into the country. Whereas here, the tax is a lot less. You don't get a lot of good New Zealand drops here. I know there are some good New Zealand wines, and if you do find them, they are expensive. You can get Aussie wine at the supermarket as well. Normally Yellow Label and things like that, the cheaper stuff that people in Australia probably don't buy anymore. But you can get at specialty supermarkets, you can get foreign varieties, but they cost a lot more than €2. And that euro, the wine that we saw yesterday, I think it was in Mercadona for €2, or €1.95, close to €2, was from the Valencia area, I believe. And according to the report, I don't know whether it was a genuine report or publicity, a decent wine for the price. But yeah, in Australia or New Zealand, good luck with getting a wine for that price of any quality. Unless you made it yourself, you'd probably cost you that. But buying it at any bottle shop or wherever you buy alcohol in New Zealand, I think it's like Australia, they have the bottle shop set up, or pubs, tricky for that price. But here, no, alcohol is cheap, and so are cigarettes if you're a smoker compared to Australia, and most likely New Zealand as well. Now, I'm going to change the backdrop. This one here is from Patricia, who lives in the Canary Islands, and she sent this picture through, not so much as for it to be a scenic shot, but more to highlight the fact that her local beach, I think it's Tenerife, the local beach is empty at around 1:45 p.m. So no overcrowding on this beach, and I think that was what Patricia was trying to point out, that a lot of protests, complaints coming out of the Canary Islands, but it's not all that busy if you take a look at this photo here. So like I said, I don't know where exactly in the Canaries it is. I think it's Tenerife, but we can see only one person sitting on the beach, and maybe the weather's got something to do with it. I don't know. It looks to be an overcast day, maybe keeping people off the beach. Got no idea. Maybe Patricia can let us know. If you've got a similar picture you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. So feel free to send your pictures through, your holiday snaps, should you have taken some, to the email address spainspeaks@gmail.com, or any other information that you would like to send through, that is the address. Feel free. Now, like button also going on the screen. We're currently at around, 48 likes, so a couple off the half century. So if you haven't hit the like icon yet, please do so. Just below the video, you will find the like icon. So consider hitting it, please. People that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's through the Super Thanks option, the Super Chat on YouTube, where you can help support the channel, buying me a coffee. Mary bought me a coffee yesterday. Many thanks for that, Mary. Appreciated. Longer term supporters on Patreon, thank you very much. And also the channel members. I recently set up the channel membership option where you can join to get early access to content, and also exclusive content when we hit the 50 mark. We're nearly there, 46. So exclusive content when we hit the 50 mark. Most likely some type of Spanish language videos. I think that's what they will be. Now, into the chat. Let's hit the chat button here. I can see it on my screen now. Mary, the first person who bought me the coffee yesterday. Thanks, Mary, for that. Hope the hay fever. I should try and get that word out. Hay fever isn't too bad. It's better today, Mary. I'm going to be honest. I'm taking my pills, my antihistamine tablets, if you like. Also some eye drops going in the eye every now and again. I think that's one of my problems. You scratch your eyes and bang, off go the allergies. So I'm trying to stop doing that. But some drops always come in handy. Richard coming in from North Yorkshire. Weather's been a mixed bag. Trying a new route to Malaga on Saturday. Our local airport Teesside to Malaga via Amsterdam. Yeah, it seems to be the long way around, Richard, but maybe no direct flights. Not sure. Via Amsterdam. Andrew coming in from London southeast. Chilly, but bright there. Hope that we're keeping well. We are. Richard's saying that the plane they're taking is KLM Royal Dutch. I think that's Dutch, is it? Yes, Royal Dutch Airlines rather than Dooth Royal Dutch. Thanks, Richard, for that. KLM, yeah, out of the Netherlands, of course, heading down to Malaga, bringing the Dutch down for their summer holidays. Janet coming in from Oxford, where a cold northerly wind is blowing, although when the sun appears, it's warm. Yeah, hot here today, Janet. I will say 34 today where I am. Renan coming in from LA. Jason just saying hi. Hello, Jason. Makish saying that AI will take the lower level monotonous jobs, preferably or probably admin or secretary jobs, but it's worth learning how to leverage AI to advance your own career. It's here to stay, so best learn to it. Best to learn it, sorry. I got that mixed up there. Yeah, that's absolutely, Makish. You could probably use it to your advantage before it takes your job. Show that you know how to use it and enhance your skills, maybe you could do. I don't know. Jason coming in with Colette from, where's this? Camivel de la Victoria in Alcudia. There we go. Thanks, Jason, for that. Hope you're enjoying life down there. Christine coming in from Madrid, finally caught the live stream. Sunny Madrid, a glass of red wine emoji there. Elba coming in from Florida, United States. I'm having trouble seeing this on the backdrop here, so I'll just see if I can move it down where it's a little bit darker. There we go. Florida correspondent also coming in today. Elba coming in from Florida. So is Dave. Everyone happy and healthy. Tuning in today from the sunny and humid Pinellas Peninsula. There we go. Dave, thanks for that. Soon to be back in Madrid, I think, is Dave. John coming in. Evening all. Hoping all is well. Thanks, John, for that. Good to see you. Next week, Menú del Dia, question mark. You inviting the whole community, Dave, or just me? I think I should be free if it's just me. No worries. Madrid, it is. Janet flew to Seville with British in March, booked a return flight through their app. The return was with Vueling, who had a different baggage policy, which meant I had to something there. Offload maybe, or, pay for the case at the airport. Very annoying. There we go. Yeah, that's a real problem. It happened to me once when I went to Australia, and of course when you fly long haul, they give you around 30 kilograms nowadays. And I went via London, and we came to Madrid with, I think it was EasyJet or one of those companies. And, of course, the 30 kilo limit on Singapore or whoever the other company was. Not the case on EasyJet. Not the case. So, yeah, I can understand how that happens. Strange, should it be up to the Spanish government to find a place for squatters to live in? It's like they're passing on their problem to homeowners. Yeah, Makish, don't know. I don't think anyone's come up with a solution yet for the squatter issues. I saw today that all of the government-owned properties or the the properties that are owned by the government bank called the Sareb. When the real estate market crashed, all of these homes half-built around the country, occupied by squatters. Banks didn't want them. The government took them off the bank's hands, of course, to get those toxic assets off the Spanish bank's hands, put them into government, made the taxpayers, made it a taxpayer issue. And today or this week, today I saw the news, the government has come up with a plan to write a social contract or some type of social contract for squatters. So basically, they've got a social contract to live in these government houses before illegally, but now with this contract, it's almost, I'm not going to say legalized it, but it's some type of agreement that has been reached. So interesting. Stilton is a blue cheese. Yeah, well, the blue cheese here in Spain, the famous blue cheese is called Cabrales, which comes from Asturias. And the person who's interested in cheese before, obviously, if they like Stilton, they will love Cabrales. And it comes in many different varieties. Well, it does come in different varieties, but different serving varieties, of course, in Asturias. They use it as a sauce on some of their dishes as well, meat dishes. So an interesting and versatile cheese is Cabrales from the caves of Asturias. Dominic saying that some people think AI will be deployed in jobs that will generate taxable incomes, and this will include AI in robots. Think fast food. This tax will be used to fund a universal income. Yeah, I've heard that. Argument, Dominic. Thanks for that. So the photo is Torrevieja, apparently. Maybe it is. I don't know. I understood Patricia lived in the Canaries, but maybe I'm mistaking Patricia for someone else. So it could be Torrevieja. Thanks for that. If it is, the beach looks a little bit dark. I thought you would have white sand beaches in that part of Spain, but maybe not. Stu, I think homemade wine over here, I make a lot of homemade wine, says Richard, and the empty wine bottles cost €1 each for an empty bottle. There we go. So for the price of what you're paying in for the Mercadona wine, $1.95. Andres coming in from Pasadena, California. Thanks for the info. I'm very excited, planning for my July 31st 89-day Schengen trip to study Spanish at the Hemingway Institute in Bilbao. Good luck with that, Andres, and I hope your Spanish comes on in leaps and bounds there in Bilbao. Stilton, blue cheese made in the UK Midlands. Thanks for that. I think somebody else said that before. And the final comment here from Justino. Just found a direct flight from Qatar to Malaga. I always used to fly from Dubai, Malaga via Madrid. Chuffed is Justino. Well, good luck with that, Justino. I hope you got a good price for that. A direct flight from Qatar to Malaga. So obviously they've opened up, have Qatar Airlines their routes to Spain. Different Gear. Hi, Steve. Don't know who Steve is, Different Gear. My name's Stuart. Maybe Steve was the person who was in this chair before me. I've got no idea, but I imagine you're referring to me. Will you still be using the e-bike in the summer, or will it be too hot for the batteries? I haven't even thought about that, to be honest, Different Gear. Whether it'll be too hot for the batteries or not, I have no idea if that's an issue with e-bikes. In any case, I've been using the e-bike recently. I think it was 34 the other day or 33 the other day, and I used the e-bike and didn't seem to have too many issues, but I'll look into it. But I also prefer the normal type of bike to try to get in shape. E-bikes don't really get you in tip-top shape like a normal push bike would. Sean the Prawn, what's my favourite Spanish dish? Don't know off the top of my head, Sean the Prawn, what my favourite Spanish dish would be, but don't know, to be honest. It's not paella. It's not any of the traditional dishes. Tortilla española, I'm just sick of tortilla española. Every now and again it comes in okay, but just get a bit sick of it. eating it constantly and all of the other things that we eat here. I've had some fantastic dishes over the years, probably some type of fish dish, or maybe a dish from the north of Spain somewhere. No real particular favourite dish, but I'll eat anything and enjoy it. El Conquistador, Mr. Live Chat. Well, no, because you're in the live chat, El Conquistador. Thanks for that. Different gear. Sorry, Stuart. Thanks. That's all right. Different gear. We all make mistakes. And Gambas al ajillo is amazing. Yeah, but wouldn't probably be in my top 10. I mean, every now and again, yeah, sure, you have gambas al ajillo. But tapas, nothing really springs to mind. Different foods over the years. I can't. I've been living here too long, really, to, if I came here on holidays, probably something would stand out more. Like, like when I go to Portugal, there's a couple of dishes that stand out because I'm not there all the time. But if I was eating these things too frequently, I have had some good paellas. I said it's not one of my favourite foods, but I've had some good paellas over the years. I've had lots of good meals, I will say. Battery bikes will build muscle when you have to carry them up the stairs. Absolutely, John. Absolutely, because they are heavy. But as a friend pointed out the other day, they're not heavy if you compare them to a 50cc scooter. And for the getting around town, e-bikes, very, very handy. Very, very handy. Juan saying that if one is interested in Cabrales cheese, you can tour the cuevas, the caves, where they cure the cheeses by visiting Arenas de Cabrales. An added benefit is you can catch the funicular railroad up to the Picos. There we go. That's where that cheese is made. They're in the caves, the cuevas. They're in the Picos de Europa. And Andrew is saying merluza gallego. Merluza gallega, I think it would be. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was referring to when I was thinking of fish dishes, some nice hake dishes up there in Galicia. The Basque Country do good fish dishes as well. In Asturias, the food has always been good. I don't think I've got a bad meal in Asturias. Went to a restaurant once in, can't remember the town, but probably the best meal that I've had in a restaurant here in Spain. I remember it fondly. It was in a place called Nueva de Llanes in Asturias. So if you're ever there, go to the restaurant. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's one of the top restaurants in that town. The town that I just mentioned, called Nueva. Like nuevo, new, but with an A on the end. Nueva de Llanes, I think is what it's called. And a super chat's just come in from Juan. Thank you very much, Juan, for that. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to wrap the live stream up. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back again tomorrow with another live stream, so stay tuned for that. Today was an irregular live stream simply because I was busy in the morning and I couldn't sit down here and record. So live stream, a way to get the content out. And tomorrow, as I said, back again, same time, 7:35. Hope to see you there. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adiós. Bye-bye.